Okay, so. Ooh, that.
Judge my client, please. Nuh-uh. Why did you look like that? If I were to sit on that side, it'd be fine.
Hi, Hazel.
I don't know if I don't think I can mirror it with my phone. How would I do that?
Can you turn the big light on? Nope, never mind, that's probably worse. So. Sup, bitches, I'm back.
No. Is it?
Go back to the basement.
Okay. You're at my house.
Go back to your basement.
Okay.
Hey, ghosts and ghouls, guys and
cat
What the fuck? Hey, ghosts and ghouls.
Guys, gals, and everything in between.
I'm your host, Violet, and today I'm joined with...
Shadow. I am one of Violet's friends, and I also stream on Twitch.
Go follow him.
Yeah.
Go follow him. You don't have to say your pronouns are on the screen. Can't you see them on the screen?
Yeah.
Go watch his Twitch and TikTok.
Yeah,
Right here, actually, not here. If you could see it.
Yeah, right here. I have a very irregular streaming schedule, so don't expect anything.
It's almost as irregular as how much I post. I haven't been gone for 4 months. So today, we're reading unhinged Reddit stories from r/Am I the Asshole, or a couple stories from Bridezilla. Here. I'm already switching out pops, and it's both the same thing too.
Ginger Ale, sponsor us.
Please sponsor me. What do you mean us? This is not a shared channel. Get out of here.
Sponsor this thing.
Okay, so we're doing Reddit story number 1. Am I the asshole for being honest? Okay. I told this story to a friend of mine, and he called me an asshole. So I figured I would take this to Reddit and see what the internet has to say. But anyways, not too long ago, I went on a date with this one woman. We went to a bar and got drinks and split some loaded nachos. The date was going super well, the conversation was flowing, she was laughing, I was having fun. As the night went on, after having a few drinks, I had to go to the bathroom, so I excused myself and go. After breaking the seal, I returned back to the table and sit down. Suddenly, out of nowhere, my date asks me if I washed my hands, because they looked dry. I tell her the truth that I didn't because I'm not trying to lie on my first date. She then told me that I was disgusting, despite her being the one to think about what I do in the bathroom, and then proceeded to leave. Personally, I don't think I'm the asshole. What a person does in the bathroom is between them and God. Plus, I don't like when my hands get wet, and it wasn't like I had any dirt or mud on them anyways, but I'm also not going to lie to someone I want to date because I think a relationship needs to be built on trust. Edit. This post is not about whether I should wash my hands or not. This post is about whether I'm an asshole for telling the truth. Please stay on topic.
What? What was that story?
He's assumably standing up.
Assumably.
He could have been sitting down though, and then just taking a pencil.
That's true, but you still should wash your hands. The bathroom is disgusting, especially in public ones.
And he said, it wasn't like I had any dirt or mud on them anyways. Okay?
Asshole.
We're gonna give them a 5 out of 7
No.
Hatsune Miku. Okay.
I'm saying like a 2 out of 7.
No, the more Hatsune Mikus, the more asshole.
The worse it is.
That's why I did 5, that's why I did like 5.5 out of 7.
Okay, yeah.
So what's the official rating? We're gonna do with 5.5 out of 7.
Yeah, 5.5 out of 7.
5.5 out of 7 Hatsune Mikus.
Yeah.
Okay.
We couldn't do it in the intro, but we could do it then.
Of course.
Reddit story number 2. That is what we're doing. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to himself? Okay. My husband, 34 male, and I, 25 female, are new parents to our 10-week-old son. Since our son was 1 week old, my husband has not been home due to him traveling for work on contract. And so I am by myself with our son 24/7. I have broken down a good 4 to 5 times as I feel very alone and overwhelmed with having a newborn by myself while also trying to recover postpartum. My husband expressed once he was home, he would allow me a break. My husband came home for the holidays and I requested for him not to bring any negative energy into the house once he is home, as the baby can feel that, especially since my husband has been away for so long that I just want them to have good bonding and his welcoming back. He became angry at me for this. Fast forward throughout the 2 to 3 weeks he was home. He barely interacted with our son. He would always be on his phone scrolling through Instagram or watching something on YouTube. I gently asked him if he could play and interact with him, as this is an important time for them to bond. My husband then accused me of saying that he's an absent parent. Then if my husband does hold our son, it's only for 5 minutes and he'll say, "Here, go back to your mother," and hand him back off to me. If our son cries, then he yells at him to stop, and there's nothing wrong with him. That I've just spoiled him and he's going to break him from that. He never makes our son's bottles or changes his diapers, nor does any of the baby's laundry get up with him during the night. Yet if I'm doing it, then he's criticizing me and telling me that I'm doing it wrong or I'm not doing enough. Keep in mind, I have the baby all day and night. I only eat once a day. I'm usually a good 2 days between showers. Yesterday, I decided I really needed to pamper myself somehow. Prior to the pregnancy, I loved painting my nails, so I thought I would try it again last night. My husband had been in the bathroom for 45 minutes, so I fed our son, strapped him in the baby wrap on me as he fell asleep. I sat in an open area in our home and by the patio door for airflow, and came in and I paired my nails using organic products. Any of the products that I had strong smell. I used it quickly and discarded of it. It was completed with my nails. I was completed with my nails at max 25 minutes, and my husband comes out of the bathroom stating I am endangering our son and that I'm a selfish mother. He then tries to take our son off of me. I expressed to him that he's sleeping and I don't want him to wake him as he's been not feeling well all day. My husband then accuses me of trying to keep his child away from him, and then he doesn't know what's gone into me. I guess I just hit a breaking point in frustration, tiredness, and anxiety, and I told my husband to go F himself. I know it was quite extreme and I shouldn't have said it. I'm just at my wit's end of feeling like I'm the only parent and then getting scolded for trying to have something that I do for myself. Damn! The
husband is a giant ass for that.
Oh my god!
He gets 7 out of 7 Hatsune Mikus for that,
7 out of 7 Hatsune Mikus.
Yelling at the baby for crying. A newborn.
He's a week old, the son!
A week old?
He's a week old!
I give him 7.8 out of 7.
Nah, 10 out of 7.
10 out of 7 Hatsune Mikus for that.
The mother though, like this story, like the mother OP, she's like -100 Hatsune Miku. Because at first I thought it was gonna be like the mom, because postpartum, I'm guessing like postpartum depression is what I'm thinking of, right? And so I was thinking maybe like she was just going through it really badly and the husband was trying to help and she just like blew up at him.
Yeah, no, the husband's just a giant ass.
Leave him. That's what you do, is you leave him, ma'am.
Leave him.
Ma'am, I don't know your name, but you are 25 and your husband is 34. She's 25 and he's 34. How does he not know better?
He's trying to raise him like a good, strong man at 1 week.
You're spoiling him. He's 1. He needs to be kept on an eye. You need to hold his head. He literally cannot do anything by himself besides suck his mom's titty.
Okay, so this third Reddit story, I don't have the name for it, so it's just an Am I the Asshole story. Mostly because of the fact that the first couple stories I took were screenshots from someone else screenshotting them. So
like
I don't have the
from
title.
Tumblr, I think you said, or something?
No, I still got them from Reddit, but it was like Reddit posting.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure most have heard of the CW show Supernatural, about 2 brothers who fight demons and monsters. My sister was a huge fan while the show was airing, engaged in all areas of the fandom, like insane super fan. I never really got into it like she did, but I was still involved in the fandom spaces. Anyway, no beating around the bush. She was hugely into Wincest, the romantic and sexual relationship between the 2 brothers. Wrote fic, edited YouTube videos, etc. She even made a Wincest Tumblr series with her ex-girlfriend role-playing as the 2 characters. So you can imagine my shock when she gave birth to twins this past month and announced their names as Sam and Dean. So the brothers' names... I was a little taken aback, but hoped somewhere that it was a joke. They have 3 older kids who also have fandom names. Not Supernatural necessarily, but across fandoms. And so I wasn't really holding up hope. I called her up and asked what the boys' names really were, and she informed me that they were, in fact, called Sam and Dean. I told her it was really fucking weird, and she told me it didn't matter because they weren't real and she didn't actually condone incest. I called her a freak and said it wasn't normal or fair to the boys. What if they found out, you know? She told me that I was overreacting and to either support her bringing the baby into the world or leave her alone. I left it at that, and my mom later texted me to ask what was going on. She knows my sister used to ship the brothers, so I told her and she was quiet, but ended up telling me that it wasn't the same and I needed to apologize because she was upset. I disagree. I think her choice was horrible and she deserves to feel ashamed for it. So, am I the asshole? Am I actually in the wrong here? I know she's struggling right now, but still. ETA, additional information. They have a son called Cerberus, and they seem to be encouraging Snape behaviors in him. Keeping his hair long, forcing him to like chemistry, summer camps, and shit. Makes me feel like they're living vicariously through their kids or something.
What the fuck was that story?
We're going to rate the guy, so we're going to rate OP as 0 Hatsune Miku's out of 7 Hatsune Miku's.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's a mouthful. And then we're going to rate the sister at least like 3.5 out of 7.
I would do 5.5 out of 7.
You do 5.5?
5.5 out of 7.
But I feel like it's not on the same level as the first guy.
No, okay, well, like 4.5 Hatsune Miku's, but like,
3.5?
it's the fact that like she shipped brothers incest and then
Yeah,
named her
twincest.
own, and then named her own kids that, and is encouraging these behaviors. Like she wants to live a fantasy life that she doesn't live in, and she needs to be put into the goddamn psych ward. It's not showing.
Why do people ship incest in a romantic way? Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, this is.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, get off.
Stop it. I don't like this.
We're not.
Okay, so we're on to story number 5, and this is the longest one, as you can probably see. Anyways, am I an asshole for wanting my gym partner to stop constantly saying yeehaw and yahooey and other whoops at the gym together? I've struggled for this for almost a dozen years. In college, I met a guy who eventually became a very good friend of mine at the campus gym. We were just the lithe young teenagers with a healthy curiosity for a potential beef that lies within burgeoning muscle. I was a beginner and ignorant in the ways of building mass and handling girth. Friend was in a similar situation as me. There was a playful eagerness about him that drew my attention, and although his confidence and willingness to experiment with iron and exertion was commendable, it was clear he needed a partner. I'll admit my reluctance in approaching him, a playful youth like me, sweat glistening on his forehead. But after weeks of exchanging searching glances, he strolled over to me and asked to work in on the bench. Each of us had read about being a spotter, how to position one's body ever so, but neither of us had done it in earnest. We pushed our reps. It was exhilarating to meet my potential through labor. We shook hands afterwards, bonding again when we noticed that large hands we both had. We've been gym partners since. As muscles filled out our frames, as hard lines of sex appeal deepened in our bodies, my friend adopted a gym lingo, constantly yelling yeehaw or yahooey or yip, etc. While this is fine when hands are wrapped around a hard shaft of steel that's begging to be hefted, he also yells without iron. We are burly men these days, carrying a kind of weight that shows strength, and though he gets eye from others, they're scared to say anything. And he's not just yelling when he says them, he's consumed by his ejaculations. I'll ask him a question about weight and he'll say, "That'll be a yeehaw for me." Or I'll prepare myself for a lift and he'll try to pump me up with a hard, meaty slap on the large of my back, or perhaps to a tense rump, and say something like, "Whoop, whoop, whoop, time to scoop, yes sir, yeehaw, wahoo," or something similar. Sure, his unwavering encouragement and thirst for fully displayed manhood sends a hot surge of blood coursing through my wanting muscles. But at the same time, I'm annoyed to no end. I never liked the whooping. I had tolerated it because of his genuineness, his boyish enthusiasm, and because I was becoming a hunk of a man. But a few days ago, I told him how I feel about the whooping. As I rose from beneath his legs on the bench, his last hoot was a hoot too many. I told him how much I hated his his outbursts. He looked hurt, blindsided. I doubled down on my opinion. The cat had spilled from the sack after all. And I said how I never wanted to hear another whoop. He feigned soreness in a joint and anew was healthy as he vigorously exerted it with passion earlier. He left and I finished my routine in silence. Am I the asshole for telling my long-term gym partner to quit yeehaw yahooing? Info: is your gym bud where you wish to know him carnally?
He didn't become modern day Shakespeare. It could have been 10 times shorter.
It could have been like two sentences. Yeah, come on. Yeehaw! Yeah, come on. Yahooey!
Can you shut up? The thing is, it's like, it's just so funny because like.
Okay, so what do we want to rate him specifically?
He's a 0. He's like a.
He's a 1 for telling his best friend to stop doing something that he wants to do.
I think a 0.5 though.
I think so. He's 0.5 Hatsune Mikus out of 7 Hatsune Mikus.
This is Reddit story number 6. Why did I say it like that? Why I had to drop out as maid of honor 2 months before the wedding. Trigger warning. All names have been changed for privacy reasons. Added the following details following telling the bride of my decision. I need to vent and get some advice. I was recently maid of honor MOH of my friend Jamie's wedding, but I had to step down 2 months before the big day and 3 weeks before the bachelorette trip. Here's why. Jamie's mom passed away 6 months before her wedding, which was incredibly tough for her. Just before her mom got sick, Jamie fired her original maid of honor for being too cheap and promoted my friend Haley and I to be her dual maid of honors. Given her mom's condition, we didn't bother her about wedding planning, respecting her wishes. After her mom passed, we gave Jamie space but checked in to ensure she was okay and wanted to stick with the original date she had planned. On a call planning the bridal shower, the bachelorette, Jamie had an attitude and was distant. I expressed that I didn't want the bachelorette trip on my birthday over Memorial Day weekend due to travel and cost issues and prior family plans. She was frustrated that our spending budget for the bridal shower was $200 each since it was just Haley and I in the bridal party. Jamie expected us to cover everything, citing her mom's death. We explained our financial situations, which were tight, but offered help in other ways. Jamie sent long texts expressing disappointment and saying we weren't good friends. We tried to be understanding, giving her emotional state. Then she changed plans last minute, demanding we arrive a day early for a dress fitting. Unfortunately, I had been in a car accident and was dealing with nerve damage and sciatica. The drive from New Jersey to NH is typically 6 hours, so I planned to split it into 2 days for my back. Jamie was furious, calling us bad friends. When Haley and I arrived, Jamie was cold and distant. She barely acknowledged that I had been in an accident, replying "oh" and refused help from her fiancé to carry her heavy bags, even though she was just watching TV. After a long drive, they offered us 3-day-old pizza, which we declined, suggesting we go out to eat. Jamie was frustrated and told us to pick the place. At the nail salon, Jamie excluded me from the conversation. On the way to pick up balloons, she almost caused an accident due to road rage. She then shared she wouldn't talk to her sister-in-law after the honeymoon because she didn't want her kids at the wedding, nor her fiance's grandma in the photos, despite how kind they had been to her. At dinner, Jamie's fiance joined, and they expected us to split the bill 3 ways, including Jamie's portion. This was surprising since we had traveled far and spent a lot of planning back at the condo. Jamie and her fiance accused us of being bad friends, primarily upset about my split drive. I explained my situation, but Jamie broke down, threatening to kill herself and demanding we come 2 days early to the wedding. The next day, after the bridal shower, Haley and I decided we couldn't continue as maid of honors. We had to cancel all the bachelorette trip reservations since they were under our credit cards. This was a heartbreaking decision, but we couldn't handle the emotional, physical toll anymore. Has anyone else experienced something similar? How did you handle it? TLDR. I stepped down as as maid of honor for my friend Jamie's wedding after she became demanding and emotionally abusive following her mother's death. Despite our efforts to support her, she criticized us, made unreasonable demands, and became cold and distant. After a series of incidents, including her refusing help and threatening suicide, my friend Haley and I decided to step down. It was a tough decision, but we couldn't handle the emotional and physical toll anymore. The fallout: Jamie reached out to Haley the day after the bridal shower this past Monday, and she said she wanted to check on me because I seemed off at the bridal shower. At that point, I had made my mind up that I was going to drop out of the wedding. I had already called both my parents, who told me I should drop out as it was hard for them to see how much duress I was under. At the shower, it was all over my face how upset I was. I was barely able to talk and was holding back tears, only able to give one-word answers, including to Jamie's father, who walked away after seeing how sad I was without asking how I was doing despite knowing about my accident. I told Haley I would call Jamie later since I had physical therapy after work as well as regular therapy. My therapist also agreed I should drop out of the wedding due to concerns for my physical and mental health. After my therapy appointment, I called Haley and let her know about my decision, and I offered to transfer all of the info and reservations I had for Jamie's bachelorette parties, which was in 3 weeks. I told her she could reach out to me if she needed help or had questions about anything I had set up or prepared. I was more concerned about how Haley would take it since I did not want it to affect our friendship. She was very understanding of my decision and supported me. I tried to call Jamie around 10 p.m., but she didn't pick up. She told me she would call me after work on Tuesday. When we finally connected, Jamie tried to lead the call calmly. I told her I would step down from the role in the wedding and blamed it on my back injury. She didn't freak out until I mentioned feeling disrespected and unappreciated. Then she got mad and blamed Haley and I for everything. She said the thing that bothered her the most was that I told her I couldn't afford to go to Nashville, her first choice for the bachelorette party, and that I didn't want the bachelorette trip on my birthday weekend. She accused me of being lazy and only knowing how to tan by my pool. I was upset she felt entitled to how I spent my own birthday. I said we would have to agree to disagree and didn't argue. I apologized again for the situation, her mom's passing, and I left it at that. I informed Haley of what we spoke about, and after that, Haley decided she would step down as well. That night, we had to cancel each reservation we had for the bachelor trip, since they were under our credit cards. The next day, yesterday, Haley told Jamie she'd be stepping down. Jamie reiterated the same things that bothered her and ended up cursing out Haley before hanging up. Haley didn't have a chance to finish telling her that all the reservations were canceled, so she texted Jamie, who responded, "I appreciate you canceled the hotel last night before you even talked to me." This reaction just confirms that Haley and I made the right decision to drop out of the wedding. That was like a roller coaster of emotions. But like, this story was insane.
That is insane.
Holy shit. The bride threatened to kill herself because the maid of honors weren't doing exactly what she wanted. Go to a mental hospital.
I spaced out for most of that.
Yeah. The OP, what should we rate her out of 7 Hatsune Mikus?
0, duh.
Yeah. 0 Hatsune Mikus. The bride, 100 Hatsune Mikus.
Honestly, yes. 100 Hatsune Mikus. That's where we stop it at. 100 Hatsune Mikus.
A million Hatsune Mikus.
A million Hatsune Mikus. So I read.
First?
I read first, and then
That's bullshit, because you're gonna read more stories than I do.
Fine.
Yay.
You'll read first next time. Wait, so this is 7, 8, 9. I'm keeping that in just because we sync that so well. Hey, ghosts and ghouls, guys and guys. What the fuck? So now we're on to story number 7. Am I the asshole for dropping out of my best friend's wedding? For some context, I'm the maid of honor for my best's wedding. They've been engaged for a little over a year, and they have yet to plan anything despite wanting the wedding to be at the beginning on next year. She and I grew up together, and we never had any issues with each other until now. When she asked me to be her maid of honor, I was so excited I didn't hesitate to say yes. However, neither her nor her fiance have really planned much other than a venue and a date. They haven't even sent out invitations yet. they're wanting the wedding to be next January, so they really don't have a whole lot of time left. Recently, it became very evident how unprepared financially and mentally they are for this wedding. A couple of days ago, she created a group chat for the bridal party and immediately started handing out lists of things we are required to help her plan, set up, and pay for. Obviously, we are expected to pay for our attire, but she also wants us to pay for decorations, food, bridal party, bachelorette party, bachelor party, and she expects us to pay for all her accommodations leading up to the wedding night. This is not including a gift for each party, a wedding gift, and money for a honeymoon fund. I'm currently a college student, so even spending money on a dress is financially stressful to me. She quoted each of us a minimum of $500 to help her out, and honestly, I'm extremely uncomfortable with this. I reached out to her and explained that majority of us really can't afford that, and she needs more time. She's going to have to push the wedding time back. The venue is a church that her dad is a pastor at. Things got super escalated and pretty much said that we are all being selfish and rude because we don't want to help out. I let it go for a few days, but ultimately I decided to just drop it out altogether. Personally, it is too much financial stress, especially this close to wedding time. And of course it didn't go well at all. Some of the other bridal party members are also on the verge of dropping out. Am I the asshole for dropping out because I simply can't afford or really want to help out with this wedding?
That was what? But no. What are we rating?
Okay, so the last one was definitely 0.
I'd say 1.
Watch important.
Well, I don't know, because you've been doing a lot of zeros, which means there's not going to be that many Hatsune Miku.
We've said a million Hatsune Mikus. I think there's going to be a lot of Hatsune Mikus on the screen.
Boyfriend's sister now wants me to dye my hair to be a guest at her wedding. I apologize if this isn't formatted the best, but I tried my best to break it up so it can be readable. So to start this off, my boyfriend and I have been together for about a year now, and I'd say me and his family have been on decent terms. They are traditional and I am alternative, but they accept their son's decision and are generally very polite with me. Issues being to arise. However, after his sister got engaged last fall, I had met her and interacted with her a few times at that point, and she had been generally nice to me. She told me that I was invited to the wedding, which I thought was very sweet, but little did I know what would entail. Her fiance approached my boyfriend out of the blue and asked me to be a groomsman, to which he didn't give much of an answer. My boyfriend expressed to me later that he wanted to attend as a guest, and really did not want to participate in the wedding itself. He has pretty bad anxiety, and that's understandable. And he ended up declining the offer. His sister was immediately not taking no for an answer, and went as far as to send him the tux that he was going to need, despite him declining the offer. What was even more shocking was that the tux was going to be hundreds of dollars, and she wanted him to purchase it, not rent it. He once again stood his ground, and she went to their parents and had them attempt to confront him. They immediately brought me up and began blaming me for his decisions, despite me obviously having no say, and he defended me while once again giving a firm no. Things were quiet on the subject for a while until a few weeks later, when she informed him that she would not be able to provide a dinner plate for me. They are still planning for a wedding, and at that point it was over 8 months away. So there is no reason why I could not be accommodated for considering that I was invited. She claimed that I was still invited, but she just couldn't accommodate an extra person. It was pretty obvious that I now wasn't welcome. So I was debating even putting the date on my calendar to go, but now there is a new installment to this saga. She sent my boyfriend a message out of the blue telling him that I will need to dye my hair and that there is now a dress code for guests. Everyone in attendance is expected to wear certain colors, burnt orange or green, and I'm supposed to dye my hair black. If you have ever dyed your hair, you know how hard black is to remove. So that request is insanely unreasonable. My hair is usually a dark red and is rarely vibrant, but that's beyond the point. I'm not ruining my hair to accommodate as to accommodate to her guest rules. And the best that I could do is a wig. And I'm honestly done at this point. My boyfriend respects my decisions either way and has got my back no matter what, but I'm still just in awe because I have never experienced this. I feel like it's 100% targeted, and I don't know how this will affect my relationships with his family going forward. I just need to talk about this, and I'm wondering if anyone else has had this happen. TLDR. My boyfriend's sister is seemingly angry at him for not wanting to be a groomsman, so she is singling me out by not providing food for me and asking for me to dye my hair black. Updates will be in the comments for now until I can better format them to be shorter and fit well into this post. I can take people in them if they get lost among the other comments. That was insane.
So, OP, no Hatsune Miku's.
None. The sister.
The boyfriend's sister is definitely 10 out of 7.
Yeah.
10 Hatsune Mikus out of 7 Hatsune Mikus.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was today's video. I'm finally back after 4 months, so I'm gonna be doing YouTube. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna be doing YouTube again because I've been busy, but I'm back now, and so yeah, bye I guess.